Hello, everyone. This is Costa from Broker Bay. Today is Monday, June 15th, 2020. And as always, I'm back at you with some stats for the week. Let's see what's happening. So, last 90 days, we're having a look. This past week that has just gone by is starting to show some pretty explosive growth in terms of the activity in the market. I'm going to go off on a limb here and say we are now back into territory that we were pre-COVID-19 and where we should expect to be in the spring market. So as we can see with showings here, this blue line, not only has it been the largest increase in growth from any of the weeks, we are now reaching totals of showings that are in and around the ranges that we were seeing pre-COVID-19 as we were entering the spring market. So yeah, pretty powerful growth continuing in terms of the amount of showings, people booking properties. And again, guys, these are only in-person showings. These have nothing to do with the virtual showing system that we've launched. These are people actually booking and going to see properties. We can see here that the peaks are pretty aggressively trending higher, as are the lows. They are also trending higher. Offers, we're starting to see some particular days. I think this would have been a Monday here, but we're seeing some pretty aggressive increase in the amount of these two peaks for this last week being substantially higher than the weeks before. So yeah, we're seeing some strong growth continuing for both showings and offers happening in the marketplace, which is very promising. When we look at the last 30 days, there was one particular trend that I wanted to touch upon. Obviously, showings are going up as we've seen, but I think that the most interesting stat or the most interesting trend for us to look at is the amount of new listings compared to offers being registered. So obviously there's a continued increase. So the peak of this week compared to last week is a little lower, but I think overall we've had slightly more listings this week than last week. But what I think is interesting is the amount of offers being registered is increasing independent of new inventory. So not to say that obviously we're low on inventory right now, but we're seeing that the rate at which people are offering on inventory is increasing faster than inventory is coming to market. As we can see here, that it's pretty clear that the amount of offers being registered is starkly higher than the week before, but that is not necessarily the case for the amount of new listings. So that's I think an interesting trend that we're seeing in terms of offers comparing to new listings. So yeah, showings are up, offers are up, new listings are slightly up, exclusives, which I still think are a weird thing to look at, but they definitely show us something. Exclusives seem to be down or pretty much even week over week, and solds, we're definitely starting to see solds trending much higher in the last week than the week before. Let's keep going. Again, when we look at showings this week compared to a month before, some very strong growth. Showings are up 121%. Offer registrations are up 175% from the previous month, the week a month ago. New MLS listings up 107%, new exclusives up 116%, and solds up 127% when looking at the same weekly period a month before. This has been the strongest week of growth that we've had since we've started doing these reports. When we look a little bit of a closer time frame, so comparing this week, so the week that just passed to the week prior to that, so week over week, showings are up 19.7%, offer registrations up 31%, new listings are essentially flat, new exclusives essentially flat, and solds are up 22.8%. So pretty interesting stuff this week. But I'd say that the most meaningful interpretation of these stats are seeing the divergence between showings and offer registrations. This is the first time that we've seen offers kind of start to trail off and move at a bit more aggressive of a pace than showings. So maybe this is a short-lived trend. Maybe it's going to continue. But if we don't see inventory continue to rise while offers outpace showings, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting next couple of weeks to evaluate. So let's see where this goes. But yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that the growth not only continues, but it continues at a more aggressive pace than it did the previous week. So these are the stats for this week, everyone. Again, we've included a link to the charts that I'm showing you here, and keep in mind when you're looking at these charts or when you're showing a client, know that you can click on these tabs to accentuate one of the lines. So if obviously if showings are really making offers look small, just unclick showings to show what offers look like. So know that these are clickable here when you click the link that I send you in this email. And lastly, please also keep in mind that all of these stats are based on broker-based clientele, which represent a large portion of the market, but don't represent the entire market, which we're going to be announcing a tool in the near future to accommodate the entire market stats. So stay tuned. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. We have a lot of really impressive stuff coming out in the next week or so. So we'll be sending you some more updates with those later on. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.